This video probably gonna annoy y'all because my truck is running and stuff is rattling in here, but hey, I gotta make this video. I got to, because it's been too long since I made a YouTube video. It's been like 4.5 years, and more than likely I'm talking to an audience of nobody because I really didn't have an audience then, so I'm pretty sure I don't have one now because I didn't allow myself time to grow. But for those of you guys who do remember me, hello, I'm here, I'm well, I'm still driving, as you can see. And for those of you guys who don't know me and that are going to be new subscribers, new viewers, which is going to be majority of y'all, hello everyone, my name is RJ, Reggie, whatever you want to call me. And I'm not even going to say that I'm a YouTuber because I'm not. I'm a truck driver. I've been driving since May of 2018. It's 5.5 years almost, and the journey has been crazy, man. It's been so many ups, a lot of downs, a lot of in-betweens, but I'm grateful for all those experiences because it has humbled me tremendously. And you know, I am where I am because of those experiences. I may not be where I want to be, but I'm in a good place right now. I'm in definitely a good place. But to give you guys an update about what I've been doing and where I've been and what's been going on in my life, I think the last video I made, why I quit Intermodal, was in the beginning of 2019. I did quit Intermodal. I went OTR with Prime, and that was my first year of truck driving. And in that first year, that was my year to really determine if truck driving was going to be something that I was going to be able to do for a long period of time. And as you can see, though I took many different avenues in trucking, I've always been driving consistently for the last 5.5 years. So it like I said, this industry has had many ups and downs, and right now, as far as the economy goes, it's not too much in a good place. But if you love what you do, you're gonna stick with it. You know what I'm saying? And I love driving trucks, and I'm just gonna be honest with it. A lot of people might try to cast a negative light on it, and it does have its downsides, like every other career. But when you enjoy what you do, sometimes it's a little easier to persevere, and you see things that people don't, from the outside looking in, don't see. It's not something that I want to do forever, of course, but I'm going to do it for as long as I have to. You know what I'm saying? Because this is my main bread and butter, and this is what I do to support myself and to provide for myself. Because I ain't got no kids. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no wife. You know, I'm provide for myself. You know. But so when I did that first year, I did a lot in that first year, y'all. I did more in my first year of truck driving than a lot of people do coming out of the gate as a new driver. You guys remember, I went from TNT, I went Intermodal local with Prime. I even did Intermodal flatbed with Prime, which was hell. I didn't even record that, I don't think, because it wasn't really nothing that Prime did wrong, but I wouldn't even blame myself either, but it was more so of I had got a limited, or a how can you say it, an alternate form of flatbed training in comparison to someone who was coming out of the gate straight into Prime doing flatbed. You know, I didn't get that kind of training because I was intermodal, so it was the training was a little bit different. I didn't have that. Basically, I didn't have that TNT phase because I was already doing intermodal driving, a reefer. So when I wanted to do intermodal flatbed, they flew me out. I did the flatbed classes, and then I went home, or I went to Chicago to do like a week of training, right? But I didn't have that extensive TNT phase to really experience trial and error and you know, doing things over and over again to get the rhythm of it. So that phase for me was on my own, and so when I was hit with different scenarios, I didn't know how to do them properly. You know, when it came to tarping, man, I remember sitting up there on top of the trailer about to cry because I'm like, I didn't learn this. You know what I'm saying? I did not learn. You know, so flatbedding then was rough for me. But fast forward really quick to today. What is it? August? Guess what I'm doing? I'm flatbedding, right? Because this time around I got adequate training, I got good training, and it was something that I always took an interest in, but I just never, you know, had the time to really, whatever. So I ended up going back home after I left Prime. I did a year and 3 months with Prime because I was like, you know what? I'm sacrificing a lot. I did my time, and I want to go home and be able to work a normal local job and have a sense of balance. And still to this day, I'm really big on having some balance in your life. You know, yeah, this is how we make our money. This is how we support, for those who have a family. But also, stability, balance is very important. Work-life balance. If you can't do the things that you need to do or want to do in your personal life, then all the other aspects of your life are going to fall out of line. And I've learned that, right? So, it was a cool gig. I went to JB Hunt. It was intermodal. Same thing I was doing with Prime. But except the scheduling was better. I was working Monday through Friday, 4 a.m. to 2 p.m. Cool. But the money was minimum, right? The money was minimum. It was I should have made more. But the thing was, I wasn't really tripping because I had a roommate at the time, right? But I always knew that I wanted more for myself, and I knew that the money that I was making wasn't going to be enough for me to grow, right? So I went to Wilson Logistics, and for those of you guys who were at Prime, you guys know who Wilson Logistics is because they pull Prime's freight, and they are literally they're based in Springfield, like down the street, across the street from Prime. I joined their Western regional fleet though, so they had their own Wilson Logistics trailers, and we were running the Western fleet. We were home every 2 weeks. It was a cool gig for me. I was leasing once again, and I don't recommend leasing to anybody. Use it as an opportunity, like KB says. Use it as an opportunity, not something that you don't think that you finna just take off with. You know, some people do, but no. Ownership, but I did that for 2 weeks. No, 2 weeks. I was home every 2 weeks, but I did that for about a year. And during that time, I mean, working at Wilson, I had a friend who was actually my best friend, and I said, hey bro, look, I got this opportunity for you. You know, you working at this grocery store, how about you try to come truck driving, because you trying to figure life out. And I said, I was in your position 3 years ago, or 2 years ago at that time. Come out here, let this company, Wilson Logistics, hire you, and I'll train you, right? Cool. So he did it. He was 21 at the time. He was 20 at the time. When he turned 21, he applied. He got hired. I trained him. We team drove. And then I ended up buying my own truck. And that was a huge accomplishment for me, becoming an owner operator, because it was something that I had always wanted to do. And it was a learning curve. And to a certain degree, but a lot of the things that I did as a lease operator applied to me being an owner operator. So it wasn't like a huge adjustment. Like, I knew fuel management, I knew that, you know. I think the only thing that was really new to me was having to pick my loads, my own loads, but that was pretty much it. And I became an owner operator during a time where freight was amazing. It was 2021, so we were hauling loads from California to the East Coast, paying $10,000. But you know, we were teaming, so we was able to get there in 4 days, or even less than that, and then still have the rest of the week to really put more money in. Of course, as the new year came around, the economy took a downturn and things changed. And unfortunately, admittingly, I faced some financial hardship during that time. And not only did I face financial hardship, but it also, after a series of events, it led to my friendship with this person that I trained being no more, right? Not my fault at all. And I'll share a whole other story with y'all about what actually happened. I actually want to share that story, and I will in another video. I don't care if they see it or not, but it's very unfortunate, and that taught me a lesson right there. Sometimes, not all the time, but a lot of times, you can't mix business, friendships, business, family, because, and then another thing too is when you try to bring somebody into something that they don't have a passion for, they'll never see it the way that you do, right? They'll never understand it the way that you do. So when the money changed, the friendship changed, right? You understand what I'm saying? So I want to share that story as a lesson. I have no shame in my game. No shame in my game. But I'll expound more on that in a whole separate video. But right now it's about catching up. So after I got rid of my truck and everything like that, I went back to JB Hunt. And this time at JB Hunt, I was getting paid significantly more than I was the last time. Probably like literally I was grossing, like gross matters, but I was grossing like $500 more a week than I was the first time. But it was during that time though that I kind of started to drift away from trucking, and I really started to wanting to do something a little bit different. Really the reason why was because of everything that had happened in my owner-operator time period. I kind of got unmotivated, right? So I wanted to do something else. I said, you know what other passions do I have, or did I have before trucking? And nursing was one of them. So I enrolled in school to start, working my way up to becoming an RN. I was doing the prereqs, and I was doing mighty fine in school, actually, getting really high grades. And I was really proud of myself because I didn't think that I was ever book smart. I didn't think that I was capable of that kind of education, you know what I'm saying? But I was doing it, I was working from 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning, and then doing school, Monday through Friday. And it was tough, but I was proud of myself that I was ambitious enough to want to do something different. I was so involved and so excited about going to school that I got rid of my apartment. I sold my motorcycle, and I got rid of all of my overhead so that I can focus more on school than work. So the plan was to go home and live with family, and hopefully family will be able to hold me down. But as when people are completely different than who they are on the phone. When you go move with them, they're completely different people. And I had to ask myself, is it worth your mental health? Is it worth dealing with this nonsense and this unhappiness to try to reach this goal? You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't. It was a humbling period for me in my life. And it was a time for me to really rationalize with myself and say, look, what do you need to do right now in your life to get back in a position of being independent to where you don't have to rely on nobody? And I said truck driving has always provided that for me, and that's what I need to stick with. Then I had to look at it too from a personal level of, or comparing the work environments of both. Going to be a nurse, the money could be better depending on where you work or the level of education that you have, but the work environment is different. You're under the direct scrutiny of your higher ups there in comparison to here. We have different scrutiny but we have a freedom in this industry, in this job, that they don't have. And it's so much of the responsibility. I'm not downplaying truck driving, but it's just two different careers that I don't think that, though it was something that I once was interested in, that's not the path that I took. And it just wasn't feasible at that point in my life to try to make that transition. But I will say that effort goes a long way, and I did make an effort, but I've always been an independent person. I've always been having an entrepreneur mindset, and I knew that doing that wasn't going to lead me where I wanted to go. And so I had to sit back and really appreciate the time that I did here in trucking, the things that I learned in truck driving, you know what I'm saying? And I had to rationalize with myself. And here I am today. Grateful for the journey because it has taught me so much. And in my work life, my personal life, all of the above. I'm appreciative for the good, the bad, and the ugly, because every lesson ends with a blessing. And I think that when people start to think that way, life is much more easy to go through, to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Now, where am I today? What am I doing today? Well, like I said, I'm still driving a truck. I'm still here 5.5 years later. It's August 2023. And I'm doing flatbed. I'm at a company called Melton Truck Lines. A lot of you guys probably know that company. They drive the blue Kenworths. Well, they have Freightliners and Peterbilts too, but mainly you're gonna see a Melton guy and a Kenworth. And you guys probably wondering, well, didn't you just say that flatbed was not good with Prime? That was 5 years ago, right? The training that I got here at Melton, it was extensive, and I would say, in comparison to a lot of other companies, it was unmatched. And when I came out here this time, I knew that I was going to get the hang of it. I was way more confident, especially being experienced now. Like, the driving is like second nature. Now I could focus solely on learning the craft of flatbed. But I'm gonna make a whole separate video about the orientation process and the experience with that. I'm gonna make that video in a separate. I'm gonna make it right now, but I'm gonna make it in a separate video because, you know, I don't want this video to be too long. But hey, if you're coming into this industry, into this trucking game, I mean, look, I'm no veteran, but I'm not brand new either. When you come out here, know what you want. Set goals for yourself. Set goals and do what you can to reach those goals, but also learn how to be still, right? When things start to get a little bit chaotic in your life, when you can't make a decision and you don't have peace about a decision, be still and look at all the things you have going on in your life and be grateful for those things first before trying to move on. Because sometimes when you move too fast, you can make a move and end up being unhappy, because sometimes things are not what they seem to be on the surface. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm a testament of that, you know. And y'all might say people might say it's selfish, but you come first. That's one thing that's the thing that trucking has taught me. You come first, because I have spent so much of my life trying to help other people, trying to say, come do this, come do that, or just helping financially, helping in any kind of way that I can. And when people aren't doing things for themselves, they don't appreciate it as much when someone else is doing it for them. I've learned that, because there's been a lot of times where I have given just to be left feeling like the bad guy, or wondering, who do I have that would do the same thing for me that I do for them? So when you come out here on this road to do what you have to do, remember, you are out here purposefully, and you are out here with the intention to elevate yourself and excel yourself. And everybody else, they either gonna rock with you or they not. And that's what I've learned. So on to this next video I'm gonna make. But like I said, I don't know if I said this in the beginning of the video, but I don't know if I'm gonna be committed to making this YouTube stuff. You know, it's something that I do want to try to do and do it better than I did last time, but I can't make any promises, you know. But I'm gonna try my best to stay committed, and to stay committed this time around, if I can. Shout out to 50 Plus. He's a trainer at Melton Truck Lines. I had requested to get. I had always watched his videos. I requested to get him as my trainer, and it worked out. And I was on his channel. He's a YouTuber, and that kind of really sparked my interest in doing YouTube videos again. But he has it on lock. I mean, he has GoPros and drones, and if I get that interested in it, I'll probably do it like that too, because I'm sure it's gonna get boring it's gonna get boring just sitting here watching me talk, you know. So I'm all about entertainment, you know. I'm an entertainer, point blank, period, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm sure you guys will want to see some securing videos and some driving videos. I'll do that. But I just started here at this company, so I gotta really focus on learning the craft of this flatbedding, and then once I get that all the way down pat, I can really start dedicating more of my time to it. But I thank y'all so much for watching this video. For the people, like I said, for the people who have been following, been subscribed to me, and still remember who I am, welcome back. Thank you for staying subscribed. And for the people who are going to be new, welcome. And there should be more to come in the future as it applies to YouTube. All right. Peace out.